Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your midday market report for Thursday, March 24th, 2022. The Madness back again tonight. Sweet 16, four great games. But today is our day that we tiptoe to the Windy City. And it wouldn't be complete without our man, the AKA mid-major king himself, the one and only Colton Sroka, will be joining us live today. Trying to get my time frame set. It's 12:03 here in Vegas, so I think it's 2:03 in the Windy City. Was blessed and honored to meet him over the weekend, this past weekend, and his partner, Riley Magnuson. We shared Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and we missed on Saturday. We tried to connect on Saturday and we zigged, he zagged, and vice versa. But it was great to finally meet. I expect plenty more visits, maybe me to the Windy City and Wrigley, and maybe Colton back to Cape Cod and a little Fenway Park, and we can show him around in Boston. But let's get him in here. The mid-major king himself, the one, the only, Mr. Colton Sroka.
The Cape Cod connection. My man, back in action. Hey, virtually, I'd rather see you live in prime time. I'd rather be there in Vegas with you. I hate that we had to cut our visit short to only a weekend, but my man, was it an honor, a pleasure. I am blessed and honored to have met you, to have our paths have crossed, and to call you my friend, my man, because we had a blast the short time that we did spend together. I wish we would have crossed paths on Saturday. We were just on different ends of the strip, damn it. Things happen from time to time, but hey, 'tis what it is. The big old hole in the desert, those things will happen to you. But yeah, outside of that, my man, absolute pleasure to meet you and hang out. And I also am, rocking the threads on the shirt here today. Had to rep up for my man, and shout out to my boys over at Chalkboard. Didn't get a chance to link up with them, but we did kind of briefly cross paths outside of that as well. But the madness, my man, it is here. It is live. It is in prime time. I cashed tickets all last weekend long. I'm looking to keep it up here Thursday into Friday and then into the Elite Eight, the rest of the damn tournament. That's what I'm here for. But I'm going to have to come up with a new nickname or something, man, because we ain't going to have too much mid-majors left. Matter of fact, there's maybe only one or two mid-majors left. If not, it's already over. It's all the big dance from here on out. So, well, I guess St. Peter's still around. Shout out my Peacocks, wearing the Peacocks colors here, you see. But I will say, shout out to our man, Andrew McKinnis. I don't know if it was shaking his hand, being graced with this wonderful good luck charm gift. I don't know if it was spending some time in his aura for a couple of hours. I don't know what it was, Mr. Dawson, but I tell you what, I come to you on this midday market report, blazing hot on the NHL ice, and with 3 NHL plays coming your way today at some point in time. So I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling hot. The bets, just getting out in the desert, breathing the nice warm air, got my bets hot again. I don't know what it was. It was cold in the Windy City. I brought a little bit of that heat back with me and brought a little bit of them hot bets back with me as well. So, hey, my man, it's great to be back live in prime time with you. It sucks. Once again, I'm not in Las Vegas, but absolute honor and pleasure to be back with you here once again on the Midday Market Report.
Let's start here. Why don't you give everyone a brief, I know you guys do your daily shows, but the people that are here at the Midday Market Report, give them a little breakdown of your weekend in Vegas, expectations versus, the clubhouse reports on, Thursday and Friday, your brief stay there. Now being in these lanes, let's start there.
Sure.
You actually finally getting to meet a lot of these people that are in the same spaces. You talked about Andrew. I didn't know, man. That kid is tall. Let me tell you.
What kind of bullshit is that? I'm 5'8" on a good day with pumps on. This is ridiculous. I didn't know he was 7'2". Who failed to tell me this information? I felt like a doggone. Follow the yellow brick road. It's showing up to the doggone clubhouse. What the hell, man? Like nobody told me that.
He was. I didn't know, and you don't know because we're
Right.
sitting down, we're behind the mic, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
Right, right. I know. I was cracking up, man. I was kind of like me and Riley. Shout out Armags at Armags CTL Sports. We walked in. We'd been in the book for a little while. We were just on the opposite side, and we walked around in the clubhouse. And I think at that point we had met up with you, and just looked in, and I was like, "Wait, is that McKinnis?" It's like it looks like him, but there's no way that's him. He can't be that tall, and I'll be damned if he wasn't that tall. So yeah, that was crazy. But as far as just being there, just kind of the weekend synopsis. I mean, I'll get kind of back to the clubhouse here in a minute because I definitely want to touch on some of the big names. And I know they stop by your show every once in a while, and I know you're out there talking with them still. So I definitely wanted to show them some love for sure on your platform. But we get out there Friday, and everything was peachy keen, man. We got an Airbnb, no biggie deal. Everything was smooth sailing, nice easy flight, everything cool. We get out, we hang out, and you know where this story is going. But, Friday was kind of a clusterfuck, if you will. Pardon my French for all you young viewers out there. But we showed up, and we showed up at this Airbnb, and it's one of them Airbnbs where you punch in the code, and then you can open the door. One of them type of handles. Didn't have a key in a lockbox or anything. And we had left twice before we hit the strip for the night to go to a couple books, meet up with Jeff, hang out, this, that, and the third. And we left for the third time after we showered up, left, whatever. And after, night out on the strip, night at the books, whatever, about 11:30, we took an Uber back to the Airbnb, punched in the code, and the damn thing didn't work. We couldn't open the door. Couldn't open the door no matter what we tried. And I promise you, kids, we weren't drunk. We hadn't been drinking. Maybe a drink. But Dawson was there live in prime time with us. He knew it. He knew it was just dumb luck. So the greatest area of Las Vegas, behind the old Westgate over there. So, standing out live in primetime started to feel a little eerie. We thought, okay, maybe we'll call old Jeff Dawson to see what he's doing. Thank God he decided to take a walk down the strip instead of go straight back to his condominium or his timeshare before we met up at the MGM, or he probably would have fell asleep and we would have been sleeping on the strip. So thank you, my friend, for giving us a place to crash our heads Friday night. Me and Max slept in Dawson's place on Friday because we couldn't sleep in our Airbnb. We got locked the hell out. So you are a savior in more than one way, my friend, because we would have live in primetime been sleeping on the strip. We had a couple of Walgreens or CVS bags full of water and stuff. Those would have been our pillows. We'd have had a little a Starbucks cup. I see your story. We've been shaking it out there trying to find coins. I mean, it is what it is. But hey, a little behind the eight ball to start the trip, but we got into Saturday, no problem. Went to the Westgate, and yeah, back to kind of the clubhouse and really everything there. I mean, that was just such an honor. I felt, I talk about it all the time. I've said it on this show. I've said it in multiple spaces. I say it on our show. Like, I'm just a humble dipshit that can barely wipe that word off my forehead every morning. Like, I just enjoy educating and entertaining people. Let me double. Yeah, okay, I'm good today. I just enjoy sports betting is my passion. Talking about sports media or being in sports media is my passion. So just to be able to have the opportunity to have a platform to do these things is more than I'm grateful for. And then a year later, after just, hey, perseverance and persistence to the utmost T, I find myself in Vegas with some of the biggest names in the space, and let alone the clubhouse at the Westgate. Shout out Kelly in Vegas. Shout out Marco in Vegas. I only had a brief moment to talk to the both of you. I know you guys were so busy. Thank you so much for allowing us to be there. Shout out Joe D'Amico. Shout out Dion D'Amico. Absolute Electric Factories meeting you guys there. Hakeem. I know I'm leaving out people. Carmine. Consig. How can I leave out Consig? I mean, everybody. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be able to go out there. And I know I talk about it, and I hope that showed that I can be about it, because I always say, like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I might be in the NFT space, right? I might have a PFP, a profile picture, is that right? But whatever. But I'm never going to hide my face. I'm going to show up every single day, and bang, I showed up out in Las Vegas. I'm ready to shake some hands, ready to say, hey. And, Ronald Capper, too, my man. Shout out Ronald Kabang. I mean, I just can go on for days. There's so many quality human beings in this space, and I would love to continue to meet you guys, continue to build relationships, and you too, Jeff. I mean, we connected right off the bat. We've had a blast here on the Midday Mock Report, Breakfast Bankroll, whatever we do. And it was just such an honor and pleasure to meet you in person, man. It was just instant hit off. We connected the vibes, everything in between. So it was just it was almost more than I could honestly process, and just even like still kind of thinking about it, it's just like a very humbling experience. So it was just awesome, and being able to also cash a shitload of tickets at the same time, all of that was going on was not bad at all. So I had the blast on Friday, and then Saturday we kind of just perused the strip, hopped in a couple different books. We checked out Caesars, we popped in the Cosmo, we're at the Westgate. We got the Westgate super early on Saturday and put in all of our tickets for the whole day. So we had like 9, 10 tickets out for the whole damn day. So we ended up finishing the day there. You guys finished at Sportsbook, and then we had to be at the airport by 7 o'clock. So we called it about 11, and that was all she wrote. Back on the plane, burned a fresh $20 bill in the old airport slot machine, hit a couple, ran it up to about $40, and then all the way out. So, you know, you got to do one of those usual festivities. Give Vegas one more $20. There you go, you assholes, as if you needed it. But either way, my friend, it's probably, I know I shared this with you, probably the, oh, goodness gracious, 14th time I've been out to Las Vegas in my life. Legally, like only the second time now. One time I did it to party, and then this time was obviously to business. So, absolute blast. Every time I get out there, I breathe in the air. I feel a different way. I feel a vibe. I feel everything. And I was looking out the window on the plane, looking at some of the palm trees and mountains, just saying, I'll see you guys soon. Don't worry. I'll be back soon. So I love it. I absolutely love it. It was a blast. And like I said, cashing tickets at the same time was more than I could ever ask. Because, I mean, if I'd have gone out there and sucked ass, that would have really, that'd have been just a damper on the whole parade. But, I mean, I was cashing tickets the whole damn time. So I had an absolute blast.
Yeah, getting back to your opening night, I think what the we finally left, and I was like, you know what? I'm down here on the strip. I was on the other side, like you said, and I was like, you know, let's get a mile or two in and just decompress. And then I'll get a lift and I'll head back. So I mean, it was 45 minutes tops, and I'm heading back. And then you called, and I saw the number, and you're like, my friend, I think we have a problem.
Hold on, before you go any further, the parting words that Jeff said to me were, "Please don't call me for bail money at 5 a.m." Mind you, it was only 11 p.m., so I missed the mark a little bit there. Jumped the gun on bail money, so that's the first thing in his head when I'm calling.
Because it was about an hour, and I'm like, what kind of trouble could you have gotten in less than an hour? And I'm like, holy shit! Now it's soon. Your words right out of your mouth, Jeff. I think we have a problem. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then you told me the story, and I'm like, you know, just being the father instinct. I'm like, okay, well, did you reach out to these guys? Can you get hold, Jeff? We've been in and out twice. We can't get in. I didn't want you to do anything stupid, so
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, here's the address. Come on down. And you know, we have a whole nother room. I mean, like I said, you could have landed a private jet in there. I mean, I wasn't using it all. So I mean, it was great. And it was just comical the way it started.
Yeah.
And we won't get into depth the morning conversations when I'm like, okay, we'll take care of this. Though. And you're like,
I was pissed. I was quite agitated at the whole situation because it was about 8 a.m. at this point in time, and old wonderful gentleman we were renting the Airbnb from just had his phone on Do Not Disturb or airplane mode and just wasn't. So I was just dirty and just in the same clothes and hadn't brushed my teeth and washed my face, and it was just like I had been on that airplane, and it was just disgusting. I just hated it, and I hadn't eaten breakfast, and it was just, you know, the hangry and all those things piling up. Hey, you know, I could hide this story. I could say, oh, no, it was a beautiful trip, Jeff. Nothing happened. It was wonderful. I cashed tickets. My life is so amazing. I'm a content creator. But fuck that. Phooey. It was nonsense. I'm a real human being, and we just had fun at the end of the day. So it's going to be a hell of a chapter in the book one day, my friend. That's what I always say. Stay tuned. I don't know, the Ode to Life by Colton Sroka some point in time in the near future, but it'll be a hell of a chapter in the book.
Before we get to the board tonight, because we'll be talking next week, which we'll have 2 weeks in. How about a quick little temperature and cubby talk? What's going on in your what you hearing, what you feeling? You got 2 weeks before the opening day. Just give us some insight. What's going on?
So As far as it goes right now, I'm just getting tapped into kind of spring ball. Obviously, or honestly, rather, being in the books was the first time that I've consumed any type of baseball in any form facet whatsoever. Like, there's a few games on, and I don't know who was sitting next to us in the clubhouse on Friday. Shout out if you're seeing my face and you're watching this and you know who you are. Shout out, maybe follow me or some shit. Like, shout out. I don't, because we had a great conversation and I forgot to ask you your damn name. But hey, this happens when you're sweating bets together. You sit down with people and you have a good time. That's why I love sports betting. Shout out Chalkboard. That's why I love Chalkboard too. But outside of the fact, I just got down a whole rabbit hole. What was the original question, Jeff?
We were just trying to get a little temperature on what's going
Oh,
on.
the Cubbies. Yeah. So he was sweating MLB is what I was trying to say there. See what happens when I go down rabbit holes. He was sweating MLB and we were watching some together and I was honestly, man, like there's no way that I can put a lay any action. I saw you did a little 3-leg parlay, little pizza and beer. Got that to the pay window as well. Hey, young man. Goodness gracious, all Friday. I just don't have the owns yet. I just can't sit in this chair and do it quite yet. So I'm staying ears to the streets. I'm not all the way tapped back in of as far as like lineup changes, everything all in between. I've kind of seen some of the free agency and yada yada. What I'm most excited about is Marcus Stroman. I am through the damn roof. I was a huge fan of him in the New York Mets rotation. I've been a huge fan of him his entire professional career, and Stro is just a damn dog. I follow him on Twitter. I followed him for a long time before he was even a Chicago Cub. Hell of a follow, hell of a dude. I absolutely love him. I can't wait to see him throwing that nastiness all year long on the bump. I was watching him and the pitching ninja, Rob Friedman. He's throwing 3 different types of 2 seams or 4 seams this year. I can't remember what it is. There are 3 different types of fastballs, like his grip, so it rotates a different way. So I'm all excited to see what he's doing there. I'm really interested to see if Frank Schwindel is a real life human being. I don't think he is. I'm still convinced he is not a real life human being. The man will go yabo 2 times in the friendly confines, and then you'll find him down at the Cubby Bear buying beers for everybody. He's not a real life human being. I don't buy it. There's no way. He's a figment of all of our imaginations. I don't know. Somehow he's on the team again. Can't wait to see old Frankie. He's an absolute man, myth, legend. Shout out Dom. Dom Frederick is he owns a morale supply company. Does a lot of stuff for the Cubby faithful, and he kind of coined that term when we picked up Frank or we elevated him from the minor leagues, whatever it was last year. He's like, this guy is not a real life human being. Like this guy is not real. There's no way this guy's real, and it just kind of stuck with all the Cubby faithful, and then all of a sudden he pops up at the Cubby Bear. So it was kind of wild. But I'm really excited to see what happens. As always, man, I suffered through, I say this all the time, I suffered through 108 years. Well, I didn't suffer through 108 years, but I don't know, I was 21 when the Cubs won the World Series. I think it was. I was going to Illinois State at that point in time. It was right before, a year or 2 before I graduated. I can't remember. Obviously, if I was 21. Either way, it was absolute electricity. I never thought it was something that I would live through in my life. I mean, some of my closest friends were next to me in that process. Some of my closest Cubby friends too were next to me, and I mean, we just absolutely teared up the quad on Illinois State. So it's something I'll never forget. So I kind of come into every year now like, yeah, it's dope if we win a pennant. Yeah, it's super sick if we do something else, make a little bit of noise outside of the wild card. Maybe we actually have a seeding in the playoffs, in the postseason. Maybe Cubs doesn't stand for completely useless by September. I love those things, right? I love when that happens. I love when choke is not the official drink of the Chicago Cubs. It is beautiful, but I'm a fan of a lot of losing teams. I'll be honest with you. The Bears don't do shit. The Cubbies don't do damn. And the Hawks are really fucking following suit right behind my 2 others. So it's not good for your boy right now. So I'm excited. I love it. I always follow. Like, I'll be able, within 2 weeks, I'll tell you everybody on the single lineup. I'll tell you everybody behind. I'll tell you everybody in the farm system. Like, I'm just a little tapped out right now. Obviously, with college basketball, now I'm kind of finding a niche in NHL out of nowhere. So just a little bit tapped out. But man, you won't be able to shut me up here soon, because that's Cubby baseball is what I bleed. We obviously didn't know each other. I mean, kind of did. Like, we maybe liked some shit back and forth like last MLB season, but really didn't know each other like this. So Yeah, I'm looking. I look around right now. I got Cubby shit on my wall. Like I have that before Bears or anything else. So you won't be able to shut me up. And then also, Suzuki. Is that right? That yeah, we scooped him because you were supposed to get him on the Red Sox, right? That was the whole shindig. Because I thought something happened where it was like clickbait media or something where he like got traded again or something. It was a weird wording and so yeah, I'm really excited to see that, see what shakes out there. I'm excited about the Cubbies. I'm always excited about the Cubbies, and I don't know. I'm thinking about hammering the over. I think it's a little disrespectful on that season win total, right around 72 and a half wins right now. And if that's not an 80 win ball club, slap me in the mouth and send me on my way because I do not buy that whatsoever. I mean, they got a damn good team, and that pitching rotation is a lot solider, or more solid than it was last year. Words are hard for me sometimes, but I'm excited. I'm excited about the pitching staff. I'm excited about the rotation, everything all in between. I bleed blue and red, my friend. So just you wait.
Me and Scott haven't got into the actual breakdown. We're going to try to do some shows on the division. Scott's been pumping out the MLB content while I'm holding serve up here.
Shout
I
out Webby.
Yes, I myself can't wait. I'll be back home on the first, get settled for the weekend, and then that will give us 5 days leading up to opening day there. And yet, going back to that three-legged parlay for pizza and beer, it was kind of comical. I went to one of my sites and I saw three huge moves, like 50, 60 cent moves.
Ooh.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to follow those three. We'll put a little $half parlay, paying 230, and got the first two home, snuck the third one home. And I was like, and the funny thing with the third one was this: they were up 4-0, then 4-1, then 4-3, and we walk over to South Point, first and third, one out in the bottom of the eighth. I'm like, I'm done. Double play. Bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, no men on, hit by pitch. I'm like, this never ends well. And then got a blooper to left field, first and third. Then the guy, runner indifferent, steals second. So I got second and third, 2 outs. So a base hit, I lose. But he struck him out, so we cashed.
Hey, how about them apples? I mean, how can you not be romantic about baseball? That is just beautiful. Like, there is no other sport that's like that. You are dead in the rights, and your man steps up on the bump and throws 1, 2, 3, gets him out of there, ring him up, set him down, grab some bench, cash me the ticket. There's something about those types of sweats too, because we kind of talked about it out in Vegas, as in like, I just play my action. I have faith in my process. I have faith in what I do. And like, I was so locked in the action out there because I just typically don't watch action, right? And being out there with 100 screens, like it's amazing because I typically I'm working on something else, or I'm on Twitter, I'm doing whatever, this, that, or the third. So I just believe in my process. So I've been actually watching some of these hockey games, trying to like pick up like whatever I can, but trying to kind of stay tapped out, because I'll share it when we get to the hockey stuff that I've really been betting numbers, not teams and storylines, and it's really been working out. So I'm trying to stay tapped out and not get too much analysis paralysis, but sweating some of these out. Last night, who did I have last night? It was the Carolina. Let me roll over to it real quick. I got it right here. I got the screen pulled up already, ready to rock and roll. It was the New Jersey Devils and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I had the under 6.5. I caught it in the morning at plus 114, shot up to 7, and then the 7 was getting about a minus 120 juice on the under 7. So I was like, well, I just found the spot there. I'm going to sit back and relax and cash this. No goals in the first, 4 in the second with 6 minutes left on the clock. And then they stopped. That was it, 4 in the second. And then in the third, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Last 5 minutes, I think it was, Maple Leafs score. They go up 3-2. Devils were jacking around a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I thought the Maple Leafs were going to put one more in, and it was going to be bananas, and then the Devils, won right by the net there, and then we squeaked out of it nice and easy. We cashed that plus money, Paulie. So I love those sweats, man. 3-2 to the window, 6.5. I mean, it was absolutely electric. I love those, man. So I attest with everything you're saying.
All right, it's time to shine. And you have all the games in front of you, and the stage is yours. Fire away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the floor a little more open than I usually do. I know I usually like pull up analysis and hey, here's why I'm doing this, here's why I'm doing that, yada yada yada. You know, what I've really found in in this March Madness betting is trust my gut. When I was out in the desert, I didn't look at covers, I didn't look at team rankings, I didn't look at Ken Palm, I didn't look at Odds Shark. I didn't look at a damn single trend. Now, I know people love them, so I brought a couple along. Don't you worry. I brought some trends. Don't you people worry out there. But all that being said, I'm just playing what I see. I said it on our show a couple of days ago, the Talking Line pod, 10 a.m. Central Time. I said the other day, you really need to buy into what is the public side, what is everybody playing, not necessarily fade that, but maybe just kind of get the general consensus and really, really, really take stock of that. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Man, it's really been working out for me. So you'll kind of hear with what I'm talking about, but let's kick things off. First game of the day, we got the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Gonzaga Bulldogs. That being said, if you're at work, you might want to lower your volume. Woo! Pigs away! We're taking the pigs plus 9.5, baby. We're getting them straight to the damn pay window. You know, we were in the book and when Arkansas was playing, and there was this group of rowdy, riled up, wild child Arkansas Razorback fans, and they were doing this, oh, I don't know what the hell they were saying, and then they do the, oh, again, they say some shit again, oh. These guys were so damn hyped. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to know what they were saying. They skedaddled, they split before I could ask them what they were saying, but the pigs are absolutely electric, especially come tournament time. Now, you might say, Colt, this is a big spread. It's reached double digits a couple times. Aren't you a little scared of it? Not really, because the general public really looks at these big spreads come tournament time and go, oh, every other one is typically 2, 3, 4. This one's way longer than the rest of them. We have to back this favorite with a lot of confidence, and I'm just not buying it here today. It was pretty, the Gonzaga Bulldogs were pretty heavily public side when I looked this morning. Still exactly the same damn spot. 60% of bets, 79% of actual money wagered on the spread on the Bulldogs minus 10 at market consensus. All that says to me is severe monetary liability. That's it. That is all that is. And the books are going to rake in on this game, point blank, period. I'm not saying Arkansas wins it. JD Note, I said this yesterday too, has left a little bit to be desired. I love the kid. I love who he is, both offensively and defensively. But offensively, he's been lacking a lot right now, and his floor general presence has just been a little off. But his defensive game has not. And surprisingly, that's actually what's really led to Arkansas' success here in the tournament. And last but not least, everybody is looking at the tempo that these two teams run at. And this is going to kind of segue me into my second play. I have another play on this matchup. But with the both of these teams being high in tempo, I believe Gonzaga is 6th in adjusted tempo per Ken Palm, and Arkansas is like 29th, 26th in adjusted tempo. So both of them get out and run. Now, the problem is with most teams that play Gonzaga is that they can't get back. They can't get back in transition. Next thing you know, Timmy's all the way down there, fucking easy dunk. How many times have we seen that? Time and time and time and time again. That's not going to happen with Arkansas. Their tempo is going to allow them to get back as well. Gonzaga's played a lot of teams that just don't have that same tempo pace. They're not used to playing up fast and moving and grooving, so they're tired. It gets to the second half, and they're letting the Bulldogs just absolutely run them up and down the court. That's not going to happen in the second half here with the Pigs, and I absolutely love it. Now, even though there's a lot of running going on, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring because, like I said, I think both teams are going to be able to stop in transition. So that leads me into my second play on this game. I'm taking the under 155. I absolutely love the under. I woke up this morning, everybody, their brothers, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins twice removed from marriage were on the damn over in this game. They see the teams playing. They know what it's about. Oh my gosh, Arkansas didn't score anything in their last game. They have to score a bunch this time. No way. I'm not buying it. This total's way too high. I'm not saying it finishes 120 or anything, but 145, 147, and I think we get both of these tickets easily to the pay window. That's about all I got. You feeling a little gutsy on the old pizza and beer money? Maybe a little money line sprinkle on the old Arkansas Razorbacks. But oh, I forgot. I told you I'd bring the trends, so you don't believe me in all that. believe the trends. Last but not least, Arkansas 4-0 ATS, last 4 is a dog. 11-1-1 ATS, last 13 after scoring 50 or less in their previous game. I thought that was really interesting. 9-3-1 ATS, last 13 following a straight-up win. And the Bulldogs 0-4-1 ATS, last 5 as a favorite. 0-4 ATS, their last 4 NCAA tournament games as a favorite. 0-3-1 ATS, last 4 following a straight-up win. And 0-4-1 ATS, their last 5 versus a team with a straight-up winning percentage greater than 600. So obviously you can see the trends. It's a great spot for Arkansas. It's a bad spot for Gonzaga. I say back the plus 9.5, plus 10 if you're seeing it on your book too. Give all the points they're willing to, or take all the points they're willing to give you, and also the under 155.
Yeah, my buddy that flew in on Tuesday, getting ready for his high stakes fantasy drafts at the Bellagio all weekend, is from Arkansas. Did hit him at 60-1 to win it all. Does have them plus the 9.5, and even a little beer and pizza money for them to win, obviously. So he's with you with a
I'm all about it. I'm all about it all day long and twice on Sundays, baby. Give me the pigs. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it grooving. I'll tell you the splits real quick on that total too. Ooh, I like that. 24% of bets, 65% of consensus money coming in on the under is down to 154.5. Before, when I looked, it dropped down to 154 despite the over getting all the bets and all the money. So now it's starting to trickle back up a little bit with that action coming in heavily on the under. So I love it there. Love both of those plays. Next one up on tap, we got the Michigan Wolverines and the Villanova Wildcats. And first things first, I got to shout out my man, Tony Sparks. I know he's a fan of your show. Now he has become familiar with you because of me. So I started stopping by your show. He's actually my high school basketball coach, and we got really tight post-high school, post-college, everything. He's supported me through our whole adventure here with TTL and here, and he's kind of followed me to your show as well. So shout out Tony Sparks. Why do I mention that? He's a huge Michigan Wolverines fan, and you better believe I'm all over the Fab vibe today. I'm taking the +5. I do think that they win this game outright. I just think there's a little more sizzle, more pizzazz, more Fab vibe, if you will, in the Michigan program right now. I'm not saying that the Wildcats are done. I'm not saying that they're going to get rolled. I'm not saying any of that, but I do think that this could be a lot tighter game than 6 points. And Villanova has been getting money dumped at them left, right, and center. 54% of bets, 71% of money at consensus on Villanova -5. Yet this number has gone nowhere. It is frozen solid. It is like the damn popsicle that's been in the back of your freezer for the damn last month, for crying out loud. Stiff, solid as it ain't going nowhere. You can't even get juice out of that popsicle. It's so doggone frozen. That's what I'm talking about with this line. That's why I like the 5. If it was the opposite way, if Michigan was the public dog, which they're not, I would be talking oppositely. But I said it here to start off all of my picks of the day. You can firmly believe during March Madness time, money and bet splits, because it's when the public, John Q. Public gets involved more times than they do all season long. So I absolutely love it. I'm all over Michigan +5, the Fab vibe. Give me the Wolverines, and shout out T Scraps.
Yeah, this line. Okay, so I talk about this all the time. I witnessed Jay Wright, Gillespie live at the at the XL Center, and
I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the show. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
It was Hoosiers 2022. I mean, you got guards backing people to the rim. When you double, they kick it out for the 3. Every person on that team knows their role. They are number 1 in the country for free throw percentage. If they keep this pace, they will break the all-time NCAA record at the end of the season. So if the game is close, they're going to hit their free throws. Now, with that said, that damn line, as you said, has not moved. It hasn't gone to 4.5. It hasn't gone to 5.5. It's just stayed at 5. Under over at 135. Vegas is telling you 70-65. It's a wrap. Don't touch it, because that's the final score.
100%. 100%. I love what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with a single doggone word you're saying whatsoever. And it might be 70-66, and we get this bad boy straight to the pay window, no questions asked. Because Final closing thought, line movement has been so damn important, especially frozen line movement. When you see a team getting shitloads, truckloads, they are getting Brinks trucks backed up to their campus and the bags are getting dumped off on their spread and that line is going nowhere during March Madness, during the big dance, believe it. Believe that that is a setup. Take the opposite side. Takes a little Coriones because you're going to see all your buddies, all your friends. They're going to be hammering Villanova -5 today. I promise you that because it is a valuable line. It's right under a key number. But I don't give a damn during March Madness. Give me Michigan Wolverines +5 all day, every day.
No, I like where your head is there. I've been talking to a lot of people out here and back home, and they're asking me specifically there on this game. And I'm like, guys, it hasn't moved. And
Right.
like you said, the splits don't make any sense. Do I think Nova's going to win? Gun to my head, I think they find a way to win. But 1, 2, 3, or 4, like you said, it's not gonna be 5. It's not.
And then it could be something stupid and Michigan wins it by 1. It could be something stupid. We've seen it all tournament long. And not to jump the gun and get into tomorrow, but the Peacocks could knock off Purdue. It shouldn't happen. It won't happen. Nobody's talking about it to happen. Purdue's going to roll them. Easy cake money. Watch the Peacocks roll. Watch the Peacocks roll tomorrow. But hey, that's tomorrow. Let's stick today. 2 more. I got 3 more for you. 2 more coming out of the next one up on tap, the 8:30 matchup, 8:30 Central, and then one out of Houston and Arizona. So Texas Tech Duke. I know if you look on Twitter right now that everybody left, right, and center is giving this play out. But I'm honestly not worried about it. I'm honestly not scared of it whatsoever. And I'm talking about the Texas Tech Red Raiders -1. I called it at -1. I'm laying the 1. Fine at a pick'em, fine where it's at. Point blank period, my friends. I don't give a damn if your great grandmother wants to make a play on Texas Tech -1 and get in on the action with everybody else. Why the hell does this need to be a pick'em with Duke and Texas Tech? It just simply doesn't. Blue Bloods in the tournament are consistently overvalued. Everybody looks at them. Everybody sides with them. And regardless of what you think of how many people are saying this or saying that, the general public is still on Duke. 58% of bets and 56% of money coming in at consensus on the Duke side at Pick'em. A lot of people are siding over to the money line side with Texas Tech, but it doesn't matter. It's 6-1, half a dozen in the other when it's a Pick'em. I don't understand why people need to do, it's a -1, a +1. Forget that. We don't play to push. We play to win. And I am literally playing this play to win. I don't care that everybody's on it. It's one of those plays that it is what it is. It's going to be a glorious end to the run of Coach K, as much as I hate to say it. These Texas Tech Red Raiders are just ratcheted up, and they're playing a different level of ball right now. And if you are going to give me a blue blood in a pick'em against a team that is not anywhere close to like the same like eye level, the same like mental kind of, I don't know how they're viewed in a pick'em against a blue blood, I'm going to take the opposite of blue blood every single time because 99.999% of the time it works out. Now, there is a key reason also as to why I am back in Texas Tech, and it's also kind of why I took the second play of the day. And I think it's because their defense shows up. Their defense showed up all season long. My partner Riley will attest to this. He's backed a lot of their unders in certain spots. It shows up home. It shows up away. It shows up everywhere. And I really think it shows up again here today, regardless of the high-flying power of Duke. I think this game stays under. It's at 137.5. Opened up right around 137 in some places. Most places, actually, it was at 137. And, I'm not surprised to see the tick up to 137.5 because the over is getting 51% of bets and 79% of money. And all that's telling me is, again, severe monetary liability. Everybody and their brothers are getting involved in the over because, oh my gosh, 137, these two teams involved, it's Duke and Texas Tech. They're going to put up 80 points at least, both, right? Like, come on, that's easy. It's not how this works, especially during the big dance. I promise you, my friends, that is severe monetary liability. Don't buy into that. I think this one stays well under. It might not even get into the 130s. Don't quote me on that. I do think it's swept free, but honestly, no more than 133 in my mind in this one. And I think it's pretty damn well swept free. So 2 plays out of Texas Tech and Duke. I'm taking Texas Tech -1, and I'm taking the under 137 or 137.5, wherever you're finding it.
Yeah, last night I left South Point after leaving the Bellagio, and it was a pick 'em. I came in early this morning, and Duke was -1, so they got
Mm,
some heavier money last night. The people flying in or whatever to -1. When I came back to the room, uh, it was still -1, so -1, 105 actually. The total kind of intrigued me because it was 136.5 there. Now, just in my eyes, just in my eyes, I think that's a Duke number versus a Texas Tech regular season
mm,
125, 128, 130, 131 under
mm.
over. It's at 137. I know Duke offensively will want to play at a faster pace. We know what Texas Tech has done to the Kansases of the world, to the Baylors of the world. They slow them down, they play their pace. So it's almost one of those Jekyll and Hydes like you. If you're on Texas Tech, you're playing the under. If you're on Duke, I think you're playing the over.
I agree. No questions, no qualms, no queries, my friend. That is exactly why I did what I did. And I got to apologize. I owe you a couple of trends. Arkansas versus Gonzaga under 155. The under is 6-2. Arkansas's last 8 NCAA tournament games. The under's 4-1 in their last 5 neutral site games as a dog, and 7-3 their last 10 Thursday games. Then the Wolverines +5. Michigan is 5-2 ATS last 7 as a dog. 35-14-2 their last 51 neutral site games, so they play well on neutral courts. 9-1-1 their last 11 as a neutral dog. 4-1 ATS last 5 NCAA tournament games, and Nova 1-6 ATS their last 7 following an ATS win, and 1-4 ATS their last 5 versus a Big Ten opponent. So the Cats haven't played well against Big Ten opponents. Very intriguing that I saw that. And then now that we're on Texas Tech in the under, Texas Tech -1. Texas Tech 10-4 ATS last 14 following an ATS loss. 7-3 ATS last 10 NCAA tournament games. 5-2 ATS last 7 NCAA tournament games as a favorite. So I love them as a favorite there. 14-3 ATS last 17 versus a team with a straight up winning percentage greater than 600. And then the Blue Devils 1-4 ATS last 5 on a neutral court. 1-7 ATS their last 8 NCAA tournament games, and right back to a stat I just mentioned, they are 1-7 ATS their last 8 versus a team with a straight up winning percentage greater than 600. So they don't play very well against some of these better teams across the land. And then as far as the under goes, under 7-1, Texas Tech's last 8 Thursday games, 8-3 their last 11 NCAA tournament games, 5-1 their last 6 NCAA tournament games as a favorite, 6-2 their last 8 as a neutral court favorite, and 5-2 their last 7 following a straight up win. You cannot find, search high and low, team rankings, covers, odd sharks. You ain't going to find an overtrend for the Duke Blue Devils. That even makes me more confident this is going under. When I find all types of one side of a trend, it just doesn't happen. That's how this game is, and I'm firmly on the under 137.5.
All right, that's 5 plays in hoops. Any more?
One more. This is the quickest one. This one's super easy for me. I'm taking the Houston Cougars +1.5. And you know I was beating the Arizona Wildcats horn, have a drum, whatever, all season long, even before we got to this point, right? And the problem is that it is still everybody's favorite outside of Gonzaga to win the NCAA tournament. And I don't think Gonzaga loses today. So one of those two have to lose today, and it's going to be Arizona, or they would have opened this up at 3.5 or 4. Point blank period. Arizona's the better team, hands down, but really are they? We've watched a lot of Houston basketball in the All-American, and they have played damn good all year long. You're talking to the mid-major king, my friends. They're a damn good team. Them Cougs are scary from time to time. Hold on. Cougs! Cougs are damn good. Sorry, I got to get it out every time I mention it. But I love them. That +1.5, I'm going to take it just in case of any funny business, but I think they win it by 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a sweat. I'm not going to lie to you. The Arizona might get out to a 20-point lead to start things off, but I promise you that this one's going to close down at the end. It's going to be wild. Just like I'll take you back to Illinois. Just like I said, Illinois is going to utilize everything that they have to beat Chattanooga, and then they're going to face Houston and just be a completely downtrodden team and get run off the court. That's exactly what happened. And now I kind of think they're getting the Arizona Wildcats kind of in the same exact spot. I think the Cats have just given a little bit more than they would have liked to at this point in time in the Sweet 16. And I think they're not ready for what the Cougars are going to do. So a couple of trends to close it out for my college basketball plays of the day. Houston's 4-0 ATS, last 4 following an ATS win. 12-3 ATS, last 15 as a dog. 7-2 ATS, last 9 as a neutral dog. 25-9 against the number, their last 34 on a neutral court, and 36-15 against the number, the last 51 against a team with a straight-up winning percentage greater than 600. And then last but not least, Arizona 0-4 ATS, last 4 NCAA tournament games, and 0-4 ATS, last 4 NCAA tournament games as a favorite. I'm all over it. I love the Cougars, plus 1.5. Close out my college basketball card.
We were sitting at the Westgate Sunday night with Andrew, with Ski, with Julian and Kelly, and CT Betts had left. They told us to come on in, and we watched the overtime Arizona game. Now, Rex, who's in charge of opening the numbers for Westgate, was right there, and we were talking the game. As soon as the game was over, he goes behind the desk. 5 minutes later, Arizona -1. Now, I'll be honest with you. First of all, I had the Houston against Illinois. That was one of my best plays of the week. I thought what you said earlier, Arizona 3.5, Arizona 4. I thought that would be the number.
For sure.
So he comes back out, and then we followed him with a bunch of the other guys to their watering hole. And I was like, what's this all about? Arizona won. And it went immediately to 1.5 while we were at the Westgate. He goes, Jeff, Ken Palm has Houston -1.5. He goes, there's a couple other spots that has Houston -1.5. Myself personally, I love Houston. And he goes, but I know Arizona is going to be getting all the money. I can put it at 1, and it's going to go to at least 2 or 2.5 by tip-off. And it's so intriguing because I look at this and I – unless you follow college basketball, you just wake up this morning and you're going to blindly bet Duke and you're going to blindly bet Arizona. It's just given. I mean, and this Arizona team, like you said, other than the Zags, is supposed to be the team to cut the nets down. The one thing I am afraid of is this. You got one of the best defenses in the country versus one of the best offenses. If Arizona gets out, like you said, Houston coming from behind versus Houston getting that lead.
I would rather that. I would rather that for sure, but I'm also saying that, like, it's madness. I could see it also happening. Arizona gets out and Houston cuts it back. I'm very interested you mentioned that about Rex, because that to me, that interaction, shout out Rex if you're listening and watching in any capacity, that to me just feels like he's pretty firm set on that they're about to fucking rake on Arizona is what that feels like to me. Give me Houston +1.5. Shout out Rex, man. I love how that feels.
All right, Mr. Peter Puck, the ice in the frozen pond is yours.
All right, I'll be quick on these ones because I don't know shit about shit when it comes to the NHL, Jeff. I got to be honest with you. But what I do know is how to read some lines and how to look at a few trends. So I got the good luck charm. Shout out Puck Time, the legendary Carmine Bianco and Andrew McInnes. Appreciate the hell out of both of you. First old play coming from the ice today. We're going to your hometown, fellas, the old Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning taking under 6 goals here today. I want to tell you for sure what the bets and money are, just so I am not talking out of my face sideways. So the 5.5, most every book is offering it at 5.5. I don't think, it's not 6 anywhere anymore. I'm fine with taking the under 5.5. I caught it when it went up to the 6 this morning. I got -120 odds, so I had to pay a little bit more. I had to pay a couple of dimes versus paying only a nickel or something like that, but I'm not too worried about it because most books are offering the juice on the under. There's a few that are offering it on the over, but I'm just not too worried about that. It did tick up for a little bit, but it's settled down. So this morning, why it ticked up a little bit was because there was just truckloads of bets and money coming in. The money splits have kind of like dissipated. I haven't really been able to see those throughout the day, but the bets have kept coming in on the over. 76% of bets on this over 5.5. And this trend I've been playing, I don't even know if it's a trend. It's just a spot. It's just being attentive or being conscious of what you're seeing. And when something's getting 76% of bets and it's not going anywhere, it's not holding at a 6 when it ticked up to 6 this morning, chances are that bad boy is probably going to go under because John Q. Public and his brother and his sister Sally Q. Sample are all over the over as well. So when everybody zigs, I'm going to zag, and I'm going to take the under 6. A couple of key reasons as far as trends go. Unders 5-0 in Tampa Bay's last 5 after scoring 2 or less previous game. 3-1-1 their last 5 after allowing 2 or less in the previous game. 5-0 their last 5 road games, and 3-0-1 their last 4 against the Eastern Conference. So I'm all about this under here today, under 6. That's all I got. I ain't got anything major else to tell you about TB versus Boston under 6.
What intrigued me on that game, that was one of the hockey games I was looking at. Tampa Bay opened up like minus 118 at Boston, and Boston 7-2 and won their last 10, playing a lot better. Now the public jumping in on the Bruins. Bruins short favorite. I initially, just from the eye test from the overnight to the morning, did lean the Lightning there, but I will definitely make note of the under as well.
Okie dokie. I got one more under for you. Pardon me. All right. One more under as well. Going to the matchup between the Florida Panthers and the Montreal Les Habitants, the Canadiens, my friends. Taking another under. I'm taking the under 6.5 in this game as well. This morning, I caught it at plus money. I don't see anywhere else. Nowhere else on the entire market is offering it at plus money. And there's only one book that I see on the market that is offering the over at the juice. So the over 6.5 is at minus 120 on FanDuel. And you know what I always say, FanDuel's the most sharp book out there. I'm sure every sharp and their brothers are going to hammer in plays over there. You know how it is. Everywhere else on the market is making you pay at least a dime and a nickel of juice to get involved on the under. Like I said, I caught it this morning when there was a boatload of action coming in on the over, so I got it at plus money, but I am just fine at you taking it whatever. I think this stays well under 6.5. Might be another second period sweat like we had last night. It gets a little wild, 4 or 5 goals out of nowhere, and then they shut it down again. But I'm all about the under 6.5, Montreal and Florida.
One breaking news just confirmed. Your partner in crime, Riley, will like to hear this. Mr. MVS has signed a 3-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Really? What are the Chiefs doing right now? Are the Chiefs trying to blow up their entire organization, or like what's the rationale there?
Well, they paid Mahomes, and basically in a nutshell, Tyreek, when he saw the money for Devontae, wanted to be paid. And we know Tyreek's a walking time bomb. And it started to leak out that he wasn't one of the guys checking his ego at the door. It was all about him. So he came to the front office and said he wanted to be paid. And basically, Kansas City made I think, a smart decision, saying, you know what? We paid Mahomes. We can't pay you. We'll fill in the holes. They got 5 draft picks from Miami. I mean, they got a boatload, and they're going to move on.
Yeah, I don't know. It did. Hey, excited for Tyreek, but I didn't understand the rationale behind the whole thing and everything. I mean, hey, big name players are doing what big name players can do now when the money's on the table. So hey, shout out, do what you got to do. One more quick NHL play from me. This has been my spot on the puck line. I'm taking the Ottawa Senators plus 1.5. Everybody, their brothers, their dogs are giving out the Jets at minus 1.5 today. It actually opened up with the Jets on the puck line getting the juice, about minus 112, minus 115. And all day long, it's trickled down. It's at plus 107 at market consensus right now. So the books are giving you better odds for the Jets to win by 2 goals or more. Now, I don't know shit about anything, or I can't name you a player on either one of these teams. I just simply can't do it. But what I will tell you is that don't make no sense whatsoever. And plus 1.5 puck lines right around minus 130, minus 140. You got to pay a couple of nickels, a couple of dimes, whatever case. It's a little bit of juice, but you ain't got to eat that much. Usually when it's like that on a plus 1.5 puck line, that has been just a chef's kiss for me in this spot. So I love that play. Ottawa is 34-20 against the puck line as a dog this season, and Winnipeg is 6-9 against the puck line as a favorite this season. So a little bit of how you doing, keep it moving there for you, but I'm all over the Ottawa Senators plus 1.5.
So we got a big board from you today. I'll just quickly recap. Arkansas plus 9.5, under 155 also in that game. Wolverines +5. Don't be afraid to sprinkle a little pizza and beer on the money line there. Texas Tech -1 and under 137. The Cougars of Houston +1.5. As we cross over to the frozen pond, Bruins and Lightning under 5.5 or 6 if you get lucky. Florida and Habs under 6.5, and the Senators, Ottawa, excuse me,
Yep,
plus
Ottawa
one.
Senators. You're right.
Yep, +1.5 on the puck line, -135.
Beautiful. Didn't miss a didn't miss a beat, didn't miss nothing. I will tell you something. Everybody might be giving out this whole Texas Tech -1 play, but somebody just placed a $10,000 six-leg parlay courtesy of our friends over there at DraftKings Sportsbook. That's probably the biggest sharp on the market, right? Ran over there to place this parlay. St. Peter's plus the 16.5. So they're buying a couple of points here with every single one of these. UNC +6.5. Michigan +9.5. Duke +5. Providence +11.5, and Arkansas +13.5. So obviously buying 4 points on everything that they got. I don't know if they, I guess they're considering that a parlay, so they probably just did alternate lines on everything. I'm guessing that's not a teaser, but yeah, total potential payout $75,000. I don't know. I feel like Duke is going to smash that thing to pieces tonight. So who knows? Maybe Duke loses by double digits. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Call me wild.
The crawler has been going throughout our show today, where they can follow you at Colt TTL Sports at Talking the Line. He is known as the mid-major king himself. Close out the show here. Give everyone where to follow you, when to follow you, and what to catch, what not to catch. You got it.
Hey, I'm an early bird. I'm a night owl. First things first, before I go anywhere, thank you for having me on. It's an honor and a privilege to be on every single day, giving me a platform to ramble on, talk some shit. You're a hell of a human being. It was an honor to meet you in person. I know I've said this, but I wanted to say it in front of everybody too. You're my man, and appreciate the hell out of you. So there's that. As far as me, yeah, early bird, night owl. I'm always up. I'm always going. If you were seeing tweets from me at all hours, you're wondering when do I sleep. I really don't. I just kind of sometimes and then I'm back, and then here we go. We do some more shit. So all that being said, you can follow me. You see it down there at Colt TTL Sports. I always like to give you a little disclaimer, though. If you like negativity, if you like toxicity, if you like the bullshit that you tend to see on social media, don't follow me because it's a lot of love, positivity, and all types of stuff in between. Perspective, everything you can possibly imagine. It's not a front. It's not a fake. It's who I am. It's what I'm about. So I don't do that shit. If you do that shit, I don't care if you got 50,000 followers or 5 followers, you get your ass muted right away. So I really don't care whatsoever. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So if you don't like that, come on and follow your boy. I always have a little bit of positivity, a little reason for you to laugh. That's the value I try to provide in the space. Because everybody gives out picks, insights, analysis, yada, yada. So I try and be a little bit of a different light. That's your boy. You can follow my partner at RMAX TTL Sports. And then you can follow us both at Talking the Line. At Talking the Line is kind of just our brand, if you will. It is our company of sorts. It's how we put out all of our content, get everything out there in the world. We have a few different shows. We have the Talking the Line pod every day, 10 a.m. Central Time. No show today or tomorrow. Taking a little bit of a reset after the long weekend in Vegas last weekend. We did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday show, and then taking a long weekend this weekend to kind of reset, get the bones back in order after some of that jet lag. You know how it is. Then we got the Wise Words pod every Wednesday. Haven't had it the last few weeks because we have been moving and grooving again. So that'll be coming back. Season 3, Episode 3 next Wednesday, featuring a legend in the college basketball space, so be sure to tune into that. And then we usually have Cup of Joe on campus on Saturday mornings, but obviously no really much more college basketball or college football, so we're scrapping that show. Beauty of just kind of being content creators and doing whatever the hell you want with your content. Scrapping that show, and then we'll be coming out with something new. I don't know. We've had a couple ideas on the back burner for a long time, stuff that I scrounged up out of that old black book. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen in a while, and who knows? Who knows what you see from the old TTL crew in the coming days? You'll definitely get some new announcements. Who knows what they might be in the coming weeks? So definitely keep your eyes peeled right there. Or if you don't have Twitter, you don't have the Bird app, whatever the case might be, You can follow us on YouTube, Talking the Line Sports Media. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and that notification bell. Talking the Line Sports Media on Facebook, talking_the_line on Instagram. Or if you missed any of that, you can just go to your favorite browser, type in talkingtheline.com, just like walking the line, but you're just talkingtheline.com, and you'll see all of our shit there. Everything I just mentioned. All of the shows, all of our best bets of the day, our blogs. I'm actually working on my UFC blog right now as soon as we get done with this. But that all being said, get me out of here. I'll talk for another 5 hours if you let me, for crying out loud. My honor, my pleasure. Thank you so much, as always, for giving me your platform, sir.
Always, always, always remember this. If you are wagering or investing this evening, do it responsibly. Please, please. Myself and Colton, we care. There is an 800 number available. Ask for help. Pick up the phone. Myself, Colton, would like to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself at Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the man, the myth, the legend, the mid-major king himself, Colton Sroka at Colt TTL Sports at Talking the Line. We wish everyone a blessed day. Cash some tickets, have some fun, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.